just so you know that you guys have learned that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are on edge about something. That is a tidbit of information that you have learned. And you can split up. Feel free. I don't care. You don't have to stay together. Although somebody does have to lead Miss Fitzbiggins around.
No, I will definitely not be splitting up. I think we should go find a nice, quiet place to rest for the next 3 hours, and then go to the big top and see if we can get their attention. I mean, I can perform small feats of magic. That should be enough to charm any carnival.
Well, you're going to be an insult comic?
Well, at that, Diara, he says, if you want to sit down and rest, he recommends either the Pixie Kingdom or the Feasting Orchard for that particular thing. Maybe you could take a ride on the gondola swans.
None of these ideas are enticing to Mrs. Fitzbiggins, who is a notorious killjoy.
The Feasting Orchard is literally a picnic area. This is a basically he explains the Pixie Kingdom is just basically a collection of restaurants and things, and then the gondola swans. It's like it's a boat that you just ride across this river.
Yeah, I was thinking
magically.
I was thinking more along the lines of like a bench.
A bench next to a trash can.
Yes, exactly.
That seems exactly your style.
With an eye shot of the restroom.
Yara kind of shakes his head, having kind of already gotten used to your just kind of sour, killjoy nature. Boy, you're going to go over real well in the Feywild, aren't you? Oh my god. So, what do you guys want to do next? Are you going to go find a bench and wait 3 hours?
Well, Leonardo absolutely does not want to wait 3 hours.
Sit quietly on your hands?
So I'm going to go over to Leonardo and it's like, so you're going to be a clown in 3 hours, right? At the big top? You'd probably fit in well there.
Well, I certainly look the part, and I'm good with my hands, but I don't know if a clown is exactly what I'm trained to do.
You have no concept of that you look the part. You think you look amazing. None.
Oh, okay.
You don't think you look like a clown. You think you are fantastically dressed.
Well, then he doesn't think he looks like a clown at all. No, this is a terrible idea.
Well, Belshan's glancing further along the road toward where he sees dragonflies with people riding around on them. And he says, I have an idea. And he starts walking in that direction.
Leonardo is going to follow you because his idea is to get as high as possible and get a sketch of the entire grounds.
Leonardo, I wasn't done yet, and I go follow you.
All right. So, are you going to? Okay, real talk, Brickroad. As someone who you like the Soul Blazer trilogy, I honestly expect you to go straight here.
Straight where?
Snail river.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
I have done enough Soul Blazer randomizer that the racing snails are up there with Moonfish and crab walking the guy as the worst people to rescue, and I want Death Toll to take him back.
Wait, we're allowed to just send people back to Death Toll? Like, just remove this character from the map.
Yeah, they're
in my way.
Each one's worth 1 gold coin.
Just turn it back into a spawner.
No, you can't, but, I want to.
Alright, Belshan, as you kind of, wander away from the group, and Mrs. Fitzbiggins just immediately follows you because she doesn't know where she's at, ever. You walk to an area where there are giant dragonflies. So huge lily pads rest on the surface of a pool, glistening with phosphorescent algae. That's a word. Giant dragonflies use the lily pads as landing platforms, buzzing loudly overhead with wings as brilliant as stained glass windows. And alighting briefly to drop off and pick up excited passengers. Near the entrance, a small smiling tree, who you recognize, turns your way and beckons you over. A red squirrel clings to its leafy canopy, peering at you suspiciously.
See, his idea is to get up on the one of these dragonflies and get a good lay of the land around here. That's his idea.
I forget
Leonardo
what.
has a similar idea.
Maybe spy on the staff area a bit.
I immediately tattle on this squirrel who's not wearing fairy wings.
The squirrel is wearing fairy wings. It's just you can't see them in that picture.
Oh. So none of this artwork is canon, and we can't trust any of it. Got it.
So I forget which button you press to zoom in the thing.
Alt.
Yeah.
I'll press Alt.
So here's the thing, Brickroad. Like, Mrs. Fitzbiggins is a killjoy. Don't you be one too?
I'm a method role player.
Well, why are you this way the rest of the time? Anyway,
It just comes very natural to me.
No lies detected.
so the tree introduces itself as Northwind. And
Hello.
it's very, like, very just happy. Like, it's, you just get this sense of, like, joy from speaking to Northwind. He also introduces his little buddy as Red the Squirrel, who raises a paw and says, hello.
Hello. He says in his very floppy hat.
He goes, do you want to ride the dragonflies? It's only
Yes.
one ticket punch.
Yes, how many does each dragonfly seat?
One.
Hmm. I suppose, Turvum, our conversation will have to wait.
I ask if
What'd
at
you
the
say?
end of the day, unredeemed ticket punches are refunded.
No refunds.
Well,
Like, you just, like, you hear the squirrel say, like, no refunds.
You use them or lose them.
Northwind thinks this is hilarious and just starts laughing, just like in this sense of childlike wonder.
I'll present my ticket.
Very well. It sounds like fun.
Yeah, Leonardo will as well.
Mrs. Fitzbiggins begrudgingly hands her ticket over.
Just
Oh,
think,
it'll be fun.
just think, this will be 5 minutes of you not having to talk to us. That'll make
Like-
you happy, right?
Northwind immediately starts clapping its hands, and says, that's great, that's wonderful. There's nothing Mr. Light likes more than a sea of smiling faces. If the carnival's happy, he's happy. So please enjoy yourself. And, like, he gets up and, like, and kind of ushers you each onto a dragonfly.
Yep.
Leonardo has sketchbook at the ready.
Right
and has
as
somehow...
you start to mount onto your dragonfly, there is a shout of alarm that erupts from a nearby lily pad. One of the giant dragonflies has just taken off prematurely with a patron on its, well, hanging from his back. He is not in the saddle. You see a middle-aged dwarf with, like, just this bright blue beard, and he's just, like, unfastened, hanging on for dear life. And
Oh dear.
I need everybody to make me a perception check.
Permission to start using my real dice?
Denied.
21?
14.
14.
I actually
Alright.
passed one Brickroad.
Yeah, nice. I got a 13.
You 13.
11.
11. You all passed because I rolled like shit. Anyway, as you're wandering, like, as you see this like dragonfly take off, this man, like this dwarf, like hanging on for dear life. Out of the corner of your eye, you see like a panicking crowd. Everybody's like, ah! But you notice like one individual who is not panicking, and in fact is slipping out of the crowd and escaping.
Giving chase.
Oh, okay. You're not going to help the man on the... Okay. You see it is a bird person with black feathers. And I am going to need you to make me... Because you've got to... Are you going to try to slip through the crowd, or are you going to barrel through the crowd?
I'm gonna barrel through the crowd.
Okay. Make me a strength check. And is anybody else giving chase, or are you going to help? Are you going to do something about the man dangling from the dragonfly?
I will assist the man dangling from the dragonfly.
As will I.
I'm a halfling and can barely lift these clothes. I'm gonna cast detect magic and look in the direction of this person that I saw darting off.
The person
That's
like
7.
running a 7. Unfortunately, the crowd is too thick and too panicked for you to successfully give chase. You actually don't move the crowd at all, which means you do not cause a decrease in the overall mood of the crowd. And what did the rest of you want to do? So what are the two of you doing to assist the man on the dragonfly?
I tell the dragonfly to fly over and help the man.
Oh, all right, you can do that.
I
Okay.
have speech of the woods.
Make me a very low DC persuasion check. This is and you can make this an advantage.
Yeah,
that-
let's... Hold on. I only took 1d20. Let's see if I can get better than that 8.
The 8, what is the total on that 8?
9.
9? That does it. You needed a 8. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't a 7. Like maybe you dumped charisma like our entire group.
No, I dumped strength because I'm a rabbit person.
You're a rabbit person.
My charisma is actually okay.
Okay. You look over and you ask the dragonfly that you were getting ready to mount to fly up and assist the man that is dangling off there. What does Turvum do?
Well, if we're on the dragonfly, I'm going to...
You were getting ready to you could be on the dragonfly basically, but you were getting ready to mount up and fly off when this all happens.
Well, I was going to get off and see if I could reach the platform. Can you just walk to each lily pad?
This dragonfly is in the air, and the lily pads do not look like they will hold your weight.
That's fair.
You are not a magic dragonfly. I'm sorry to tell you.
Aw, you mean I can't fly with my little wings? I'm going to try and position my dragonfly to catch the dwarf in the event that Mrs. Fitzbiggins is unsuccessful.
All right, I need you to make me a DC 14 animal handling check.
Ooh, I'm not good at these.
Well, you are today.
I'm good at them today.
Are you on the dragonfly, Mrs. Fitzbiggin, or did you send it off by itself?
I could fly it. I could be on it.
So the two of you fly up and stabilize this dragonfly. The dragonflies you're riding their presence calms it down, and it gives the man riding it a chance to pull himself up with your help, and he is saved, which causes... And then when you land, you just hear thunderous applause from the people who have watched this go down, and they're slapping you on the back and congratulating you, and the overall mood of the carnival rises by 1 step.
Thank you. The name's Turvum. Name's Turvum.
Northwind he stomps over because remember he's a tree, and he says, "Wow, that was amazing! I've never seen anything like that before." He goes, "I wonder what caused that. The dragonflies are not usually that skittish. I wonder what happened there."
I have a question actually for you.
The Northwind?
No, for the DM.
Okay.
So I wanted to cast Detect Magic while it went on, but I
Sure.
don't know what's within 30 feet of me, if anything.
Within 30 feet of you. So the river is magical, the pond is magical, the dragonflies are magical.
See, this is what I was afraid of.
But it's a faint magic. Like if you have something like what are you looking for? What are you hoping to find?
So I was going to look in the crowd, but I realized that's probably more than 30 feet away to find that person that ran off. So my next idea was to look at the disrupted dragonfly to see if like it was like blown askance from like a gust of wind or like the spell, not an actual gust of wind.
So there's nothing like externally magical about if that makes sense. Like there's no external magical influences on the dragonfly. The only way you would be able to know like why the dragonfly did what it is if you had some way to speak to it.
Yeah, definitely don't.
Do I?
Actually, yes, you do. You can just speak to animals because you're a level 2 whatever the hell druid you are.
Yeah, I can decipher their noises and motions. First of all, though, because the tree man pontificated, he didn't understand what went wrong, and I just point out that it's underutilized safety standards, and I demand to speak to the safety inspector for the park.
And he just gives you a giant. Northwind gives you a giant grin and says, "We don't have one of those."
Yeah, that's a big surprise. I'm gonna go talk to the askance dragonfly, and I guess I will appoint myself safety inspector, which should then also grant me access to the staff area. That's my plan now.
Miss Fitzbiggins is going to ensure that these dragonfly rides are OSHA certified.
Exactly.
Dosha. Dosha is a organization with many tendrils and many multiverses. Anyway,
And I'll talk to Northwind. It's like I don't know what happened. But there did seem to be somebody who just ran away when it all happened. I didn't get a good look at them though.
he goes, "Oh,
I come jogging back. And I'll say, look like a walking raven or walking crow of some kind.
oh." Northwind says, there is a troublemaker going around the carnival. Maybe that's who they were. I don't know. Seemed kind of outside of my pay grade, you know?
The ride operator says this?
Yeah. It's a tree.
I'm surprised you get paid, to be honest.
I get all the manure I want.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been great since Mr. Witch and Mr. Light took over the carnival. You know, they're not even the original carnival's owners. They're not even from the Feywild. But, you know, it doesn't matter. We're all one big happy family here. I almost said fappy. That's
a different campaign.
Mrs. Fitzbiggins crosses her arms and reminds him that a man almost died.
Oh, yeah. But he didn't, so that's great. So when you walk over, when Miss Fitzbiggins walks over to the dragonfly, what is the exact wording of the
class feature?
Yes, class feature.
Beasts can understand my speech, and I gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions.
All right. So you ask what do you ask the dragonfly?
I tell it that I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
It like lowers its little dragonfly head.
And I ask it what went wrong.
He goes, and the dragonfly tells you that it was just sitting there minding its own business, getting ready for the next rider, when a bird person walked up and scared the crap out of her. And it's a her. This is a her dragonfly.
Okay.
And she got panicked, and she flew off because she didn't want to be around that bird person anymore.
Now, aren't there a lot of bird people at the carnival?
Yeah, but they're not. It lowers her head. Yeah, but they're not, like, scaring me.
What
Like-
was the bird person doing that scared you?
She walked up. Essentially, what you get from questioning this is that a Kinku walked up and, using a speak with animals spell, started making started mimicking sounds at it, which caused which freaked the dragonfly out and caused it to fly off.
Well, I thank it for its honesty, and I tell the dragonfly that it should probably relax and take the rest of the day off somewhere nice and quiet. And then I go back and inform Northwind that the dragonfly is taking the rest of the day off.
He goes, "Oh, well, I suppose that's okay. I mean, we have other dragonflies."
I need to go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
I just pee in a bucket that I keep under my desk.
That's a little gross, but okay.
Or
As long as the
information
mic doesn't
unnecessary.
pick up. It's fine.
Yeah, so we need to be looking for a Kenku, because there is a mischievous Kenku going around the carnival scaring dragonflies.
With that in mind, can Leonardo still get on the ride?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can we get on the ride? I might be able to spy him.
He's gonna look for this
him from
Kenku
up
now.
Okay.
there.
Yeah. And he takes. I mean, you've already spent your punch, so
Right?
mark your punch off on your tickets.
Oh, we actually have to... Okay, what am I doing here?
I guess that's what what these chits are for.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was gonna try and draw on it, but I guess you can't.
Nope.
Yeah, I ended up drawing on the table.
Way to go! Gosh.
So, you are flying on the dragonfly now, and the dragonfly kind of go at a lazy figure 8, kind of following the circle. They'll go down this way, and up around this way.
Does that match the direction that the Kenku was running?
The Kinku, the only thing that you saw of the Kinku, because you lost the Kinku pretty early,
Yeah.
was that they exited the Dragonfly ride and went somewhere else in the park. That's unfortunately just the best you could guess.
All right. Well, I guess I'll keep an eye out for him as I'm flying around.
Let me see. I need everybody who is actively looking for the Kinku to make me an investigation check. Intelligence investigation check.
So I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I am drawing while I'm doing this, but that does require attention to detail, but I am distracted.
Okay, so you can make that check at disadvantage.
I mean, I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right.
Hey, Brickroad.
Yes, sir.
That's 4.
Oh, I got depressed and I stopped counting.
Oh.
I have a 17
17?
on investigation.
That's a
I'm
2.
8.
Guess what my bonus to investigation is, Treble?
What?
It's 1. I rolled a 2.
Ouch. Error is at the bathroom, so if I'm gonna go ahead and just continue on because Mrs. Fitzbottom is the most competent person in this party. Fitzbiggins, Fitzbottoms, whatever. She can't look at me disapprovingly. I don't exist in the universe. Mrs. Fitzbiggins, as you're flying around on your Dragonfly, who is, by the way, telling you how awesome you are for saving that man and calming down the person.
Shut up, baby. I know it.
You're scanning the crowds, and then over by the carousel, between the carousel and the feasting orchard, you catch a person kind of go behind like a wagon, and you see a brief flash of black feathers as this person kind of changes into a different person and then goes back into the crowd.
So I saw a person that I surmised to be the Kenku pull off a shape-shifting trick.
A shape-shifting or a disguise self spell.
Can I persuade the Dragonfly to leave the predetermined course and bring me to that person?
You can. I need either an animal handling or, because you can converse directly with it, a persuasion check.
No, my animal handling's better. That's an 8.
That is not going to do it. The
Okay.
Dragonfly resists your attempts to get it off course.
So a
And
moment
it does
ago, I'm the most
it does
awesomest rider ever.
It apologizes to you, but it's against the rules.
You know what? I cannot fault the Dragonfly for not wanting to break the rules. That's the most reassuring thing I've heard since I arrived at the carnival.
And as the ride continues, everybody and you land back at the Dragonfly Ride. You do know the general area that the Kenku is in. Generally speaking, you don't think, with the way the crowds are and stuff, you think that they're either at one of these three.
So Carousel, Feasting Orchard, or Gondola Swans.
Or the lake, just the lake in general.
Okay.
It's all, like, yeah. And if we want to wait for Error, which I'm going to give him just one. Oh, Error, make me a investigation check.
And that is a
Your DC is 13.
14.
Okay. You also see the Kenku Warlock kind of slip into the shadows here and then like change forms with a disguise self spell and then go back into the crowd over in this. Do you want to try chasing her with your...
No.
Okay. So you're all landing at the Dragonfly Lines and you have a kind of a lead on where to go in one of these three.
I remind my companions that we're not actually here to ride the carousel. That being said, that is where we spied the Kenku.
All right.
We're going to go there and ask if anybody's seen a Kenku, but we're not actually going to ride the carousel. Understood?
Well, I thought, I thought I saw him too, but it looked like he transformed into something, but I didn't get a good look.
You don't know if it's a male or a female. It's rude of you to assume.
It's okay to be rude to a Kenku. It's allowed.
I don't think that's true, but okay.
I press X to doubt.
So you're going to... Does anybody want to... Do you want to continue on? Do you want to split up?
Well, I don't know how to get to the carousel. I'd have to follow somebody else there.
Right. But
So if somebody else is going to lead me to a different place, I would have no way of knowing.
Tell you what, I think we split up and hit the major areas around there.
Well, I'm hungry, so I'm going to go to the Feasting Orchard.
Although it is going to be tricky if they're able to change their appearance.
Well, luckily, you actually have somebody who can, I think, cast Detect Magic at will.
Yep, that's me.
So...
Just
you
see me ask it up.
Are you splitting up? Some of you are going to the Feasting Orchard, some of you are going to the Carousel?
Well, I'm going to follow Leonardo, because it sounds like Leonardo is the one that will actually be able to detect if there's a spell in play to change the person's shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I'm directed to the carousel, I will go, but Leonardo will also mention that, well, if we're trying to improve the mood of the place, shouldn't we partake on all the rides?
Mrs. Fitzbiggins thinks that's purely nonsense.
All right. So what is Belshan's going to the gondola swans?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to start with the carousels because that's the notes I have up. As you approach the carousel, a procession of wooden unicorns stands motionless on a circular wooden platform. Fairgoers clamber onto the unicorns' backs, and a female centaur sets the ride in motion. The unicorns shake their manes and creak to life, cantering around the carousel to the delight of their riders. You see a sign that says, "Ride on Carousel, 1 ticket punch." As you approach, you see the individual who's checking the tickets and operating the carousel. It is a centaur-looking individual wearing blue butterfly wings. She
looks upset.
She does look upset. I thank you for noticing. She will, as you walk up, she, she says hello, and she introduces herself as Diana Cloppington.
Oh.
And...
That's rough.
I see she lost her sense of dignity.
Somebody says, "Oh my!" You hear a child go, "Oh my God!" He goes, "Mommy, mommy, look at the centaur!" And she she's very quick, and she very quickly corrects the child and says, "I'm not a centaur. I'm a human who made a bad deal." And then she turns her attention to you and says, "Is there anything I can help you with?"
I asked Leonardo real quick if he sees anybody with his detect magic that might be our Kenku.
Yeah, do I see anything?
Near Diana herself is glowing with a aura of transmutation magic, and the carousel is glowing with an aura of conjuration magic.
I want to specifically look at like patrons, people who have the wings on, obviously.
You don't see anybody who is magically disguised. At the carousel.
So I asked Miss Cloppington what this bad decision is that she made.
She kind of looks down and she says, and she hesitates for a moment, and then she says, "I made a bad bargain." And then she thinks about it for a moment. She looks the two of you over, and then as she goes to open her mouth, she immediately starts coughing, and then she turns around and you see her spit up this black tar.
Jesus.
And then she turns around. I'm sorry, I can't see anymore. May I ask why you're at the carnival today?
We were searching for a shape-shifting Kenku that nearly killed a man on the Dragonfly rides, says Mrs. Fitzbiggins loudly enough to be overheard by all of the surrounding patrons.
She kind of shakes her head. Okay, I'm just going to have to mark that down. Hold on.
Now, while Miss Fitzbiggins is loudly making her presence known, Leonardo is just going to keep looking at patrons to see if anybody reacts to that or anything.
No, everybody kind of looks around and looks at Mrs. Fitzbiggins like she's crazy. Like, who's this crazy old woman?
Yeah, I'm the crazy one.
And, but you got to remember, that is actually not why you have come to the carnival today.
No, but it's what we're doing right now. We have gotten sidetracked. Well, have we? Because we were told that, like, if we engage with the carnival, that one of the guys would come to us and then we could talk to them about our lost stuff. So I feel like we're kind of trying to get into the swing of things. Like, roll our eyes. Okay, we'll do the riddles in the escape room.
And she has she kind of like deflates a little bit when you say that you're like looking for like a person here at the the actual carnival, but you see her like gears turn in her head, and then she says, maybe, and she tells herself, maybe they're talking about, and then she starts coughing again, and like these mushrooms start growing on her arms, and then like rotting and falling off, and she quickly like rubs them off and says, no, can't say anymore. And she turns around, he goes, I might be able to help you. Are you interested?
What's Leonardo's response to this?
Leonardo is coming up with a plan of his own, and he suddenly blurts out, while my comrade, for lack of a better term, here asks you about this, I'd like to ride on the Carnival. Or on the Carousel.
He goes,
sorry, I can't words.
She says, I have a better idea. And she turns around and she starts ushering people off, and she puts a sign up that says, she turns a sign around, it says down for maintenance. And then she hands you both a small can of gold paint and a small like paintbrush. She says, please follow me. She says, I'm sorry, folks. We must do some necessary maintenance. The carnival will be down for 1 hour.
Well, shit. My goal is to get on the carousel and detect magic in a wide sweeping arc.
So, while the two of you are going on there, she says, she starts telling you a story. She says, I can't go into too much detail. Otherwise, there are consequences, as you have seen. He goes, but I made a deal with a hag. She, I guess, technically followed through on her promise. I asked her to reunite me with my missing horse. And then she gestures at her body.
It's a good thing Mrs. Fitzbiggins doesn't have a sense of humor.
He goes, and she leads you into inside the carousel. And while we're gonna leave that on there, we're gonna go to the feasting orchard. As Turvum walks over to the feasting orchard, music and mirth radiate from this park. The heady scents of flowers, mead, and berry pie just waft the air. Stilt walkers pluck fruit from trees and hand it to passerbys. Musicians drum, pipe, and strum, and everywhere there is singing, dancing, and just an inordinate amount of custard. And as you walk up, a Witchlight hand, who doesn't have a name, so don't ask. This Witchlight hand walks up and just starts busking for, like, and announcing, come one, come all, come to the fairy eating contest. Only one ticket punch.
Did I hear fairy eating?
Fairy cake eating contest. Okay. He goes, come one, come all. The winner gets a prize.
How long is this going to take?
If you ask around, not very long, because you have, if you ask the Witchlight hand, like, the rules of the contest, the goal is simple. Eat as many cupcakes as you can within 60 seconds.
Oh, I'm kind of hungry, so yeah, I'll do it.
All right, that's one ticket punch. Mark that down on your. Oh, here's your things. Mark, these are your tickets. You used one for the dragonflies. You were in the bathroom when we did that earlier. All right.
I figured as much.
All right. You sit down at along one of these benches here. There are a great number of fairgoers here. You can, just to mechanically explain how this is going to work, you can swallow a cupcake in about 3 seconds. You've got 60 seconds to do this. And safely eat as many cupcakes as 3 plus your constitution modifier. All right? For each additional cake you eat, you must make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. All right?
All right, so 3 plus my Constitution mod. Everyone after that is a DC 10 con save.
Correct. And you can eat one every 3 seconds. One cupcake every 3 seconds. Meaning that you can, if you want to make it, that is, oh my goodness. CalcExe, you have failed me.
Simple math is impossible.
It's like how do paladins not proficient in con saves? But anyway,
The maximum number of cupcakes you can eat during this exercise is 20, but you can only eat safely up to 3 plus your con modifier. And I don't know what your con modifier is off the top of my head. Probably 2 or 3.
2.
So you can eat. You can safely eat a maximum of 5. Meaning that, yeah.
All right.
So we're gonna assume you eat. Do you just eat the 5 and stop, or do you keep going?
How's the competition looking?
Pretty. A few people stop here and there. There is about 4 or 5 people that are on their 6th cupcake when you get to your 5th cupcake.
I can't be outdone with like that. I'm eating a 6th one.
Okay. DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
All right, that's a pass.
All right, that's 6. You gonna keep going?
One more. Uh-oh.
All right, that's a fail.
That's a fail.
You take 2 custard damage. Subtract that from your hit points.
I'm sorry, what kind of damage?
Custard damage.
Oh no, the sugar was real.
Oh.
All right,
Do I
but
have a-
that's 7 cupcakes. You gonna continue on?
Listen, I'm not batting an eye at this because Treble introduced umami damage.
Okay, first of all, I want to point out this is actual text in the actual book.
I don't get done by anyone. I'm eating another one.
Okay, this is your 8th cupcake. Make me a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
That's a
All right.
pass.
All right. All right. That's 8.
What do you have to do to be resistant to custard damage?
Absorb pastry.
We're going
Protection,
again.
protection from pastry.
I'm going to become famous.
All right.
Doing it again.
All right. This is 9.
That's a pass.
Pass. All right.
How's everyone looking?
So, everybody, it's basically down to you and 2 other people at this point. And they are keeping pace with you.
I'm going again.
Okay.
That's a pass.
All right. The 2 people are keeping pace with you.
Going again.
And
That's a pass.
one of them passes out. It's you. It's just you and one other guy. You're going neck and neck.
Let's go. Ah, I failed that one.
All right. He passed his, and you take 3 custard damage.
Ugh.
Good thing you're level 2, huh?
No, I won't be undone.
All right. How many you got left? How many is that? I lost count. I think that's 12.
That's a pass.
And he passes as well. All right.
Strength of the
13.
party is eroded.
Ah, that's a fail.
Your con save?
Yes.
So you don't add your con mod. You add your con modifier to that. Oh wait, that's a 6, not a 9.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You take 4 custard damage. Yeah.
Ugh.
I have cure wounds, but I'm not sure if that will work on custard damage.
It doesn't. So how many hit points you got left?
11.
All right.
I could safely eat one more the way this is going, or fail one more time.
All right.
But I'm going to think better of it, and I'm going to stop.
Hold on. This guy right here failed his, and he takes 8 custard. As he
Wow.
falls over and it just retches, just cupcakes everywhere, and
I'm
you
done
win.
with them. Ah. I
So
should have known better. Oh.
he is knocked out of the contest, and you are declared the winner.
I have heard the blueberry ones are better than the raspberry ones.
So let me read this to you. You must pass a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or take 1d8 custard damage. Subtract custard damage from the contestant's hit points as normal. Any contestant reduced to 0 hit points by custard damage is unable to continue, loses the contest, and has custard splattered all over them. At the end of the contest, all contestants regain their hit points from taking custard damage.
So I couldn't just stand on the sidelines casting Cure Wounds on him over and over?
No.
I was ready to use lay on hands.
Yeah,
on
I was
myself.
gonna say, error, lay on hands.
Yeah, he just leans back, puts his hands on his belly.
Put it on your belly, yeah.
That actually would, because remember, like, it's one cupcake every 3 seconds, meaning that, and a round is 6 seconds, so that's an action, so that's 6 seconds. He would be 2 cupcakes behind.
Are you telling me that you can't chew bubblegum and rub your tummy at the same time?
In D&D, no.
D&D?
Yeah, but
Oh,
falling behind's not necessarily a bad thing. This is a marathon, not a
no,
sprint.
for sure.
That's
Right.
pacing yourself.
Yeah, you just
Well,
exactly.
he won by being virtue of level 2. So, as you're sitting there on the table, having completely forgotten why you're actually here in the feasting orchard, the Witchlight hand raises your fist to the sky, and the jostling, just for a second, you almost throw up, but don't. And he says, "Our winner chicken dinner gets," and he hands you in a beautiful glass box. He hands you a cupcake.
Oh, yay.
And this cupcake, he explains to you, will function like a potion of invisibility. You must eat the whole cupcake to gain its benefit. And it is a blue cupcake with bright gold sprinkles. All right. Just real quick, are you going to do anything else?
After that, it's like, what was I here for? All right.
On that note, are you going to the Gondola Swans or the Silver Song Lake? They're kind of at the same location.
And I'm actually going to use one of my spell slots and cast Detect Magic and see if there's anyone transmuted.
Right. You do not see anybody. Well, make an investigation check at advantage.
I only need one.
Can Paladins not use that as a ritual?
No.
It takes 10 minutes. But Paladins do not get ritual casting, no. You do not see anybody. Sorry.
Alright.
So is Belshan going to the Gondola Swans or the Silver Song Lake? It's basically kind of, there's like 2 attractions at the same location.
Okay. The swans then, because that might get me a good another good chance to see about the area.
Enormous swans glide through the water here, pulling ornate wooden gondolas draped in flowers. The swans disappear into the banks of this silver mist. Not that mist. As they wind their way down the river, a jetty extends ahead, and at the end of which is a waiting swan preens its feathers. As you approach the swan, it kind of cranes its head over to you and informs you that riding its gondola will cost 1 ticket punch. Each ride is an hour long and will begin and end at this jetty. The swan also informs you that it's a good time to go because by the time they get back, you'll be just in time for the performance at Silver Song Lake.
Sure.
Okay. So punch your ticket.
Yeah.
And the swan bows her head, introduces herself as Featherine, and explains that she will be taking you across the river that encircles the carnival, and bids you to get on.
Hop on.
So you're in this giant gondola by yourself. Looks like it can hold 8 creatures.
Yeah.
But the the swan just starts going sedately this way, just around the edges. So Feathery just starts speaking at you, and like this this swan starts explaining things, and she has a real like erudite and haughty voice, just real posh. I'm smarter than you.
Trying
She
to
starts
guide the
asking-
conversation toward troublemakers.
And well, she just ignores you and says, "So, what is joy? Do you have any ideas on that?"
Sorry, I just found that.
A question that a soldier doesn't normally get asked.
Well, how do I know you exist? Can you prove that to me?
Oh God, it's the existential gondola.
Yeah.
I really wish Brick was on this thing.
I'm so glad I'm not on this one with Miss Fitzbiggins.
Belshan will step off of the thing, just kind of like 1,000-yard stare.
He goes,
I mean, once he's done.
like,
But yeah, no, this is distressing. In the
this-
meantime, he's trying to see, like, he's trying to catch, glimpses of people on the shore, anybody who might be acting suspicious or troublemakery.
The swan is waiting for you to respond, and she asks you one more question. In a world so full of magic, is time but an illusion?
I hate this swan.
Time is one breath to the next.
Oh, really? You think so? She goes, I'm glad you decided to answer one of my questions. I was starting to get worried and think that I was going to have to throw you off the gondola. I'm glad I found a worthy conversation partner. He goes, that's actually a very good point. And while like Featherine is like contemplating your answer of like life just being like a series of basically interconnected like moment to moments, you roll me an investigation check.
How many people has this swan drowned because they gave her stupid answers to her question?
All of them.
5.
5.
Hey, Brickroad, that's 5 for you, Brickroad.
You do not notice anybody acting strange. Everybody you see appears to be properly wearing their butterfly wings and having a good time.
Hey McDohl, can we do an experiment?
Oh, no, I don't like experiments.
Here, use
So
this
like,
dice instead. I've succeeded 5 times with it.
as after like riding around a couple of minutes in silence, Featherine kind of turns her head back to you and says, "Is there anything you would like to know about the carnival?" He goes, "I feel like I can confide in you." And
Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, tell me about them.
Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Yeah. I'd like to know more
goes,
about the proprietors.
Well, I don't know too much about them. They don't get in the water too much, but I can tell you about some of the other carnival staff. And by the way, at this point, she's talking. You cannot stop her.
Yeah.
She goes, well, I enjoy my late night debates with the Bugbear Burley. He does work with Mr. Witch and Mr. Light back in the staff area. He's basically their go-to guy.
Is he actually a bugbear?
Yeah, he's actually a bugbear. He has a profound mind and is simply just wasted guarding the staff wagons. I know he misses his brother terribly, but no one knows what happened to Hurley. But everyone knows he never really fit in.
Wait.
Yes, they are.
You're telling me that their names
Yes.
are in fact Burley and Hurley.
Yes. She goes, also,
Proceed.
Also, I don't want to gossip, but
Oh,
the mime Candlefoot a couple of days ago made this disastrous attempt to propose to the mermaid Palasha. She's the person, by the way, who is going to be performing later today at the Silver Song Lake. He was about to declare his true love. All the swans were there. We were watching. We were rooting for him. And then he just gasped, and the words left him, and he couldn't speak anymore. It was most unusual. He hasn't spoken a word since.
That was unusual for a mime?
Palatia was very upset. Well, you're not there, but he wasn't a mime until this.
Oh, okay.
Palatia was very upset. And Candlefoot has been working on the Hall of Illusions ever since. Working the entry to the Hall of Illusions ever since.
Okay.
And then, like, for the next, I don't know, 40 minutes or so, you're just... I'm trying to think of the word here, because inflicted might be too strong. Inundated with just inane gossip that has absolutely no intrinsic value whatsoever. Occasionally she will offer, she'll swing back around to, like, the metaphysical, like, ponderings and try to, like, coax more answers out of this, and then thus that is how your hour is spent. That advances the clock one place. All right. As the two of you are in the carousel with Diana Cloppington.
I asked if her name was Cloppington before she was transformed into a centaur, or if it was just an auspicious coincidence.
She doesn't
Perhaps
want
it was her. Perhaps it was your horse's name.
She doesn't want to. Yeah, actually, yeah, that was her horse's name. Good guess.
That's what having a high intelligence score gets you.
I was just gonna say she doesn't want to talk about it, but he actually guessed.
No, that's very clearly where it came from.
So she hands you those gold, these clay pots of gold paint and some paintbrushes. And
Yeah,
she
Leonardo
tells you
takes
that
them.
she's going to have the carousel closed. By the way, this is happening while during that hour that going around, so it's still technically like first hour for you.
Sure.
But she's going to close the carousel for an hour while it goes under some essential repairs. Please, he goes, I suspect you can figure it out. And then she turns around and leaves you to whatever it is you want to do. And you're standing in, like, this the carousel next to some horses. There are 8 unicorns in pairs. Each unicorn is made of wood and has a name tag around their neck. What are you going to do?
Leonardo is immediately going to investigate the pairs and look for differences.
So, you don't even have to roll for this because it's very obvious. So, as you come across the first pair of the unicorns, the only difference between the two of them is their name tags. The first unicorn has a name tag that says Fortune, while the second one has a name tag that has most of the letters kind of scuffed away, leaving only a capital B.
Mrs. Fitzbiggins is going to sigh deeply and then immediately begin painting the nearest unicorn.
You're gonna paint just paint the unicorn?
We were handed a bucket of paint and
You were
led up onto
handed
the
gold.
carousel.
So, okay, just so you know, this bucket of, it's not a bucket, it's a small clay pot with a small, it's not like a painter's paintbrush, it's like a artist's paintbrush,
Okay.
like a small paintbrush that you would do fine detail work in, and it's gold paint, and the letters in the name tags are in gold paint.
Oh,
The
okay.
rest
So
of
they
the
just want us to
unicorn-
name the unicorns.
Right.
So, Leonardo has his own paintbrush. It's actually his spell focus. He's gonna hand Miss Fitzbiggins the other brush if she wants to help.
Are you
What am I
just going
to do
to?
with two
quote-unquote help?
paintbrushes?
I don't know. Figure it out.
And I didn't know that there were 2 brushes.
Yeah, there's 2 brushes. You each have a clay pot and a brush.
Is there a number of letters that are missing, like, or is it just B blank?
It looks like there are 4. There's a total of 4 letters in that name.
Okay. Leonardo is going to not actually paint on there, but he's going to try and paint the word bold, like in the air, to see if it would fit.
It does.
He will paint that.
Okay. So you have named the unicorn next to Fortune bold.
Yes.
All right. There are 3 more pairs of unicorns.
All right. I'll go to the next one.
But these unicorns' names are the first name is Fall, and the second one has the letters P and R, and then 3 scuffed out letters. And yes, I know this is not your mist level puzzle, Brickroad. I did not write this.
Leonardo looks over at Miss Fitzbiggins for just a moment, and then writes in the word pride. I don't know. The idea just came to me.
Well, which one is in front?
All.
Ooh.
Oh, he stops and thinks. Yeah,
You've
you're
already
right.
you've already painted pride on there, so
Yeah, he's written the D in, and he's like,
Prid? What's a prid?
He quickly fills in the E.
As you approach the third pair of unicorns, one of the
Sorry.
one on the what?
Oh, I don't know if the rune came through.
The first one's has the name Stone painted on its tag, and the other one reads M Scuff S.
This one I'm less sure of. Moss?
I mean, Moss is as good of a name for a unicorn as Stone. And your penmanship is impeccable.
Oh, thank you. I
just realized.
a lot.
Oh, that's funny. It would have been amazing if Turvum was over here.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. This worked out, didn't it?
So, as you approach the last pair of unicorns, one is named Stitch, and the other one has a name tag that reads Scuff, the letter N, Scuff.
Are there safety lines painted on the carousel where people are meant to walk?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Well, with a yes or a no would be helpful.
Yes.
All
There are helpful, yellow arrows telling people where to enter and exit.
Okay. I
And
approve.
plenty of guardrails.
Did you say for that fourth one that it was an N as in Norway,
It is,
or an M as
is-
in Moscow?
It reads like this. Let me get a color that can actually be seen.
Are we just drawing on the table now?
Always.
I was afraid of that.
And then the name of the other unicorn is Stitch.
So it's not Lilo.
No, it's not.
That's where I was going with that.
Raz, please solve this puzzle, please.
Do you just not know what it is, Brickroad? Or are you
I
just
do know what it
choosing-
is.
You don't want it. You don't.
I want Raz
puzzle
to
is
split.
this puzzle is so beneath Brickroad.
I've watched Raz play a lot of really bad adventure games, though. So
Right?
You
I'm
picked
not.
like
I'm not great
So,
at word puzzles, unfortunately.
A stitch in time saves.
Oh, I only got to time. Okay. Yeah.
So you're like, you
Yeah,
stopped
so
at
it
that
is-
word.
I,
You're
I
like,
stopped at time and I was like, well, is it? Did he miss say N? Was it actually M? That
4
was as far
words.
as I
That's
got.
all I care to listen to.
Yeah. I will write in 9.
Miss Fitzbiggins slaps you at the back of your wrist with her walking stick and correctly gives you the right answer.
No, I led him
And-
to the correct answer, you'll notice. He got it on his own in the end.
And that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh, I see you are a practice instructor.
Yeah, and I've got a +2 to hit with his ruler.
Well, hopefully that won't be necessary.
So we'll
I guess-
reconvene in about 15 minutes at 4:15.